Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be talking about my favorite films from 2021. I'll only be covering the top 10 films that I liked this year or in the past year, but you can always follow me on Letterboxd, where my list expands all the way up to 15. So let's get into it. So at number 10, we have Dune. Uh, I really love this movie so much. I never had any Um, I've never read any of the material. I've never seen the old movies. I just thought this was a beautiful film. I think Denis Villeneuve is a fantastic director, and I really enjoyed the film. I've watched it multiple times. About the steelbook now that it's come out, and I can't wait to see part two. So I'm very excited for the future of Dune. Next up, we have at number 9, The Harder They Fall. Man, this movie, I'm not usually somebody that is all about the westerns, but this was so cool. Like I really, really love this movie. The cast is fantastic. The movie looks super like it just looks great. The sets, and even the story is pretty compelling. So I really enjoy this. It has a lot of people that I love on the screen. Idris Elba, probably being one of my favorites. Also Regina King, always stand Regina King. Yeah, everyone was magnificent. Not to make a pun for the Magnificent Seven, but yeah, this was great. I very much recommend that movie if you haven't seen it. It is on Netflix and you can check it out. All right, moving on to number 8, we have Titan. This is a French film that I didn't know much about going into it, and let me tell you, it was an experience. This was probably my favorite theatrical experience of 2021. It was weird. It was wild. The people that I was there with, like they, nobody really knew anything about this movie and how crazy it was going to be going in, and the movie just kind of escalated and escalated. Uh, yeah, it was great. The pacing was fantastic for this movie, and like I said, it was just a weird film, but I very much enjoyed it. So yeah, Titan at number 8. Moving on right along, we have at number 7, The Green Knight. This was another one of the. I think a lot of it has to do with the theatrical experiences. This was one of the first movies I went to see uh, in in theater. Once we had a little bit of leeway with things opening back up and all that, and it was great. Dev Patel is fantastic, but I think what really made this movie for me is that it just looks beautiful from start to end. And although I wasn't familiar with the source material either, yeah, like this movie just really, really, it was definitely something that I want to experience more of. And A24 has been doing stuff like this, so I hope that they keep making movies like this. And I can't wait to see Dev Patel in something else because he's just amazing. So yeah, The Green Knight, number 7, fantastic. All right, number 6, getting a little bit into the genre stuff that I normally talk about in the channel. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. Uh, wow, there was plenty of Marvel movies. Not all of them made the top 10 list, but you can go check out my MCU rank for that. How I like those. But yeah, Shang-Chi, probably my favorite origin story out of. It's a tough go between Iron Man, Black Panther, and Shang-Chi. I think those three films, as far as an origin Marvel story, they're all really like they all really hit the mark. I think uh, the thing about Shang-Chi is that it also involves there's a lot of martial arts and fighting, which I definitely enjoy, which is something that the other films don't have. So yeah, this was really great. Simu in the titular role is amazing. Aquafina in the supporting role, I also think her character is really great. There's twists, turns, callbacks, and then of course we get the big CGI battle, which I know a lot of people, they really don't appreciate as much anymore. But I just think it's like seeing things from the comic books onto the page, onto the screen, will still amaze me all the time. So yeah, Shang-Chi, really good film. All right, we're halfway through the list, so let's get into it. Number 5, uh, Judas and the Black Messiah. This movie, like it, if you go back and check out my mid-year list, this was already on there as well. This movie just maintained. This was so good. I'll be surprised if it doesn't get any Oscar nominations. I think Daniel Kaluuya was great, uh, and I just think it explored a facet of history that I wasn't very familiar with. So that's another part that I really enjoyed. Yeah, the performances were great. The movie looked great. I also watched this. I was able to watch this at home because of the HBO Max deal. All that stuff plays into the role of like how I enjoy movies. So I got to keep that in mind as we go through this list. Especially I know people are going to disagree with some stuff. Most likely coming up to the top ones. So all right, next up at number 4, Spencer. Uh, this movie was a trip and a half. At first I thought this would be like a regular biopic about Princess Diana. I think Kristen Stewart. First of all, let's talk about her. Um, she was fantastic in this role. I think she killed it. I hope she gets nominated and wins some awards for this. But the movie was actually just more like a psychological drama exploration that not so much a regular biopic. I know a lot of people maybe in the in overall like maybe they didn't enjoy that because they were expecting more of a regular type of biopic, but this was great. It was really more about like an exploration of her feelings and the character and what could have happened. Yeah, her performance is great. You spend like 90% of the movie with Kristen Stewart's character, so she really puts this movie on her back and just carries it along. It also looks fantastic. It's shot in a different ratio. I don't remember the exact ratio, but I do remember looking into it and seeing that it was a little bit different when I put it on when it was on the TV. So I always thought that was interesting as well. So yeah, the visuals, the music is also amazing. Yeah, great music in this film. It really brings that like eerie, uncomfortable feeling that the movie wants you to have. So much, much to look forward to there. All right, so we are at the top 3. So at number 3, and this was tough. This was really like the fight for these 3 movies are pretty much very interchangeable. I feel like one day I may like one more than the other, but at number 3, I've decided that Spider-Man: No Way Home will be number 3. This is my favorite Marvel movie of last year, and there was a lot of good ones. I really enjoyed everything Marvel put out last year, but this movie, of course, it has the added bonus of like bringing villains back from from the old movies, the nostalgia factor. Then you got all the little twists and turns that if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, don't worry, I won't go into spoilers here. But yeah, I mean, No Way Home was an achievement in just like planning and making it. It's kind of like an event as well, and that's really what moved it up to the top of the list. Um, like this was also something I got to see in theaters right before everything started kind of closing up again and all that. So very happy I got to see this. I can't wait to watch this again multiple times once it's available on VOD and streaming. All right, let's move it along. So number 2, and if you were kind of keeping track of the stuff I watched in the first half, you may know what's coming up in the last 2. Uh, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I know this may be a divisive pick, but people, you can make your own list. Follow me on Letterboxd. Let's follow each other, and we'll make. I'll take a look at your list. But this movie is like a culmination of something that I really enjoyed for the past almost decade. I'm a big fan of the trilogy with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and now seeing Zack Snyder's full vision. This is also one of the movies I've seen the most. I think I watched it 4 times last year, including the black and white version. So yeah, I very much love this movie. I really like all the characters that are in here. Yeah, so this was one of my favorite movies of last year. Like I'll probably watch it again and do another run at the trilogy at some point. And I don't think we'll get another movie like this in the near future. So yeah, there it is. At number 2, Zack Snyder's Justice League. So at number 1, and I did not see this coming at all. Like if you had told me at the beginning of the year a movie like this would be my favorite film of last year. But Pig, Nicolas Cage, Pig. Uh, it was an intense emotional journey. Uh, it was a beautifully acted film, like not just Nicolas Cage, but I think everyone that was involved just were really giving it their all. It was a very interesting concept too, because it's about the life of this chef that's kind of like a curmudgeon that has separated himself from society, but he has been dragged back. And even though the marketing felt a little misleading, and I understand maybe that's why some people may not like this film, the marketing really kind of make it felt like he was going to be like a John Wick type of dude, but this was not that at all. But I really, really loved this movie. Um, there, like I said, there's an emotional journey. There's like this really interesting look at the life of uh, restaurateurs in Seattle and chefs and the culture there. Um, and then just dealing with the 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 emotions that food can evoke, and the passion that people have for cooking food, and it's just a great journey. So there it is. Those are my 10 favorite films of 2021. If you want to see the full list of 15, go check out my letterbox. Link is on the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. This list, I know it took a little bit, is a little bit later than I would have liked to put it out, but I really had to think through some of these things. So thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And remember, we have more TV reviews, movie reviews, comic reviews, all that good stuff. Do you love to see the channel? We just did a Moon Knight trailer reaction that was live, so that was really fun to do with Clay. But yeah, let me know down in the comments, what are your favorite films of last year? Is there anything that's on my list that's on your list? I think it'd be fun to kind of compare and contrast. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.